Absent. I was absent that day. Absent-minded. Your brother is absent-minded. Adaptable. He is adaptable to change. Adorable. It's an adorable baby. Adventurous. It was an adventurous story. Affectionate. He's not very affectionate towards his children. Afraid. Are you afraid of the dark? Aggressive. His voice is aggressive. Agile. Your dog is very agile. Agreeable. Is he agreeable? Alive. Is that rat alive? Amazing. Modern technology is amazing. Ambitious. He was an ambitious politician. Anxious. I was very anxious at the interview. Arrogant. The manager was so arrogant. Artistic. Your kid is very artistic. Asleep. Everybody is asleep. Attentive. An attentive audience. Available. Is this medicine available online? Average. Ashwin is a very average player. Awake. I was awake at 4 a.m. in the morning. Awful. Your haircut is awful. Awkward. The customer was very awkward. Back. My parents are not back yet. Biased. The news channels are very biased. Bizarre. What a bizarre fashion. Bloody. His clothes were bloody. Blue-eyed. The cat is blue-eyed. Bossy. My older sister is very bossy. Brave. He was not a brave soldier. Breakable. These pots are breakable. Bright. The rooms were bright and airy. Broad. It's a broad passage. Broad-minded. Be a broad-minded person. Budding. A budding love, a budding actor, a budding entrepreneur. Busy. Were you really busy? Capable. She is a very capable assistant. Careful. You weren't very careful. Careless. He isn't a careless driver. Cautious. Don't worry, he's a cautious driver. Chaotic. The house is a bit chaotic at the moment. Charismatic. Obama was a charismatic leader. Charming. Your smile is very charming. Cheeky. He's a cheeky boy. Cheerful. You're very cheerful today. Childish. Stop your childish things. Chronic. A chronic headache, a chronic pain. Clear. The instructions aren't clear. Clingy. Sonu is a very clingy child. Closed. All the shops were closed. Clumsy. His handwriting is too clumsy. Colorful. The flower garden was very colorful. Colossal. The ship was colossal. Comfortable. These new shoes are not very comfortable. Competent. He's very competent in his work. Complete. My work is not complete yet. Consistent. The results are consistent throughout the year. Cool-headed. A cool-headed player. Cooperative. Why are you not cooperative? Courageous. The girl was courageous. Crazy. Is the shopkeeper crazy? Creative. He's not very creative. Creepy. This place is creepy. Crooked. Your teeth are crooked. Crowded. The mall is always crowded. Cruel. He's cruel to animals. Curious. Babies are curious about everything. Curved. The temple's roof is curved. Dark. It's so dark I can't see. Dazzling. It was a dazzling performance. Dead. Is the boy alive or dead? Deceptive. Appearances are sometimes deceptive. Decisive. You're not decisive. Delightful. It was a delightful party. Dependable. He's my dependable partner. Dependent. He's dependent on his wife. Determined. She's a very determined person. Diligent. Ravi is very diligent in his work. Dishonest. The lawyer was dishonest. Distinct. The two cultures are very distinct. Dizzy. I was dizzy this morning. Doubtful. I'm very doubtful about that. Drowsy. Very drowsy music. Dynamic. This is a dynamic world. Eager. She's eager for success. Eastern. The eastern part of India. Efficient. The metro is an efficient transportation system. Elated. She was elated by the result. Elegant. What an elegant dining room. Empty. The train was empty. Energetic. Your father is very energetic. Enthusiastic. She was an enthusiastic student at school. Envious. I'm not envious of you. Evil. These people are just evil. Expensive. It's too expensive for me. Exuberant. He's an exuberant dancer. Fair. It wasn't a fair price. Faithful. A dog is a faithful companion. Fancy. It's a fancy restaurant. Fierce. Very fierce fighting. Fluffy. A fluffy teddy bear. Foolish. It was a very foolish thing. Fragile. Be careful with that, it's very fragile. Frail. A frail old lady. Frantic. Things are frantic in the office right now. Friendly. He's friendly to us. Frightened. A frightened child. Funny. Stop, the joke wasn't so funny. Generous. Thank you for your generous gift. Gentle. The nurses are very gentle. Gigantic. It was a gigantic statue. Glamorous. A glamorous life. Gloomy. It was a wet and gloomy day. Glorious. The building is absolutely glorious. Gorgeous. The bride was gorgeous. Graceful. She's a graceful dancer. Grumpy. The shopkeeper is always grumpy. Gullible. I'm not a gullible customer. Harmonious. A harmonious relationship. Hazardous. These chemicals are hazardous to health. Healthy. It's not in a healthy condition. Hectic. Today was too hectic for me. Helpful. He wasn't helpful at all. Helpless. He was helpless and alone. High. Unemployment was very high last year. Hilarious. His jokes are hilarious. Hollow. The bamboo is hollow inside. Homeless. Was that man homeless? Homely. The hotel was homely and comfortable. Honorable. An honorable police officer. Horrible. What's that horrible smell? Huge. The parking lot was huge. Humble. He's very humble about his success. Hurt. Are you hurt? Hypocritical. That's a hypocritical statement. Ill. He's critically ill in the hospital. Immense. The benefits are immense. Impatient. Why are you so impatient? Impeccable. Her English is impeccable. Impulsive. He is impulsive in his actions. Incompetent. This government is totally incompetent. Inevitable. Death is inevitable. Inexpensive. Those shoes are very inexpensive. Inexperienced. He was an inexperienced pilot. Inquisitive. Some people are very inquisitive. Instinctive. My reaction was purely instinctive. Intangible. Stocks are intangible properties. Intellectual. She's an intellectual woman. Intolerant. It's an intolerant society. Inventive. He was highly inventive.
ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗಾಯ್ಸ್, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಬುಕ್ ಬುದ್ಧ.
ನೀವು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರಿಯ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕತೆ ಅನ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಬದಲಿಗೆ ಬದುಕುವ ಘನತೆ ಹೇಗಿರಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಈ ಬುಕ್ನ ಫುಲ್ ಸಮರಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕುಕು FM ಆ್ಯಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಆ್ಯಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್, ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಬಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ, ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್, ಕಾಮಿಡಿ, ಆರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆದ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ನ ಕೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಈ ಆ್ಯಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 10,000 ಅವರ್ಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಆಡಿಯೋ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದರ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ₹1 ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಕೋಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 199ಗೆ 1 ಇಯರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೀವು ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಲಿಸನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್, ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದರ ಲಿಂಕ್ ನಾನು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ.
Itchy. My hands are very itchy. Jittery. He was jittery about the food shortage. Joyous. It's a joyous time of year. Judgmental. Don't be judgmental about people. Knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable about computers. Known. These people are known criminals. Lame. That's a lame excuse. Large. China is a large country. Late. Are we late? Lavish. It was a lavish party. Legitimate. This idea is not legitimate. Little. A little rice. Live. Millions of live animals. Lively. It was a lively discussion. Located. Our office is located in the city center. Lonely. A lonely life. Lost. That's my lost phone. Low. A very low price. Lucid. A lucid explanation. Lucky. I was just lucky. Magnificent. The Taj Mahal is a magnificent monument. Massive. His injuries were massive. Mean. That's a mean remark. Mediocre. My grades were mediocre at school. Mere. He's a mere child. Messy. Your room is so messy. Meticulous. He is very meticulous in his work. Mischievous. Your son is very mischievous boy. Miserable. It was a miserable year for us. Modern. It's a modern office building. Modest. She's modest in her behavior. Moody. Why are you so moody today? Muddy. The carpet was muddy. Mushy. The meat was mushy and tasteless. Mysterious. His action was very mysterious. Narrow. The street was too narrow. Narrowminded. Don't be so narrow-minded. Nasty. You're a nasty little boy. Nervous. I was too nervous at the interview. Nice. Is your boss nice to you? Northern. The northern part of India. Obedient. His dog is very obedient. Obnoxious. He's an obnoxious guy. Odd. Her father was an odd man. Old-fashioned. My aunt is very old-fashioned. Open. Are malls open today? Optimistic. I'm very optimistic about the future. Outrageous. These prices are just outrageous. Outstanding. That was an outstanding performance. Passionate. Veda is very passionate about dance. Patient. Your brother is always patient. Peaceful. It's so peaceful by the lake. Pessimistic. His words were very pessimistic. Playful. Sonu was a playful child. Pleasant. It was a pleasant journey. Poetic. His language is very poetic. Poor. I was always very poor at math at school. Possible. It's just not possible. Present. The whole family was present. Prickly. This plant is prickly. Proactive. A proactive approach. Productive. It wasn't a very productive day. Professional. He's not a professional photographer. Prominent. He was a prominent leader in the party. Proud. Her parents are very proud of her. Punctual. Always be punctual for an interview. Pungent. The pungent smell of chili. Quick-tempered. My father is a quick-tempered person. Quiet. Why were you quiet at the meeting? Ready. Aren't you ready yet? Rebellious. A group of rebellious teenagers. Redundant. Redundant details. Relentless. The traffic noise was relentless. Reliable. Is your watchman reliable? Reluctant. He was so reluctant in his work. Respectful. He is so respectful to his elders. Ridiculous. Your idea is so ridiculous. Robust. The metal cabinet is not robust. Rude. He's always rude to everyone. Ruthless. He was a ruthless teacher. Scary. It was a really scary moment. Skeptical. I'm a bit skeptical about it. Sensible. I think that's a very sensible idea. Shallow. The lake was very shallow. Shiny. His face was red and shiny. Shy. He was too shy at the wedding. Skinny. Eat more, you were too skinny. Sleepy. I'm so sleepy today. Smart. That's a very smart answer. Sneaky. A sneaky plan. Sober. Is the driver sober? Solitary. It's a solitary house in the forest. Sophisticated. Her parents are educated and sophisticated. Sore. My legs are very sore. Sorry. He's so sorry about his mistake. Southern. The southern part of India. Sparkling. His eyes were sparkling with happiness. Spiteful. Very spiteful remarks. Splendid. The meal was just splendid. Spooky. The building is really spooky in the dark. Spotless. Your home is spotless. Stale. These potato chips are stale. Steep. The road was rocky and steep. Strange. What is that strange noise? Stray. A stray dog. Stubborn. He's a stubborn old man. Sublime. The food was absolutely sublime. Supportive. My father wasn't supportive. Surreal. It was a surreal experience. Suspicious. His behavior was very suspicious. Sympathetic. She was very sympathetic when I was sick. Tactful. That wasn't a very tactful thing. Talkative. She's a lively, talkative person. Tame. A cat is a tame animal. Tangible. Some tangible benefits. Tender. Her voice was tender. Terrible. The weather was terrible yesterday. Thankful. He isn't thankful for your help. Thoughtful. This is a thoughtful essay. Thoughtless. It was a thoughtless move. Tidy. The house was clean and tidy. Timid. My dog is a little timid. Tiny. A pair of tiny shoes. Tolerant. I'm not a tolerant man. Touchy. She is very touchy about her weight. Trustworthy. Is he a trustworthy person? Unbiased. An unbiased opinion. Uncooperative. He was so rude and uncooperative. Undisputed. It's an undisputed fact. Unemployed. My father was an unemployed laborer. Uninterested. He's completely uninterested in sports. Unknown. The reason is unknown. Unpleasant. A very unpleasant situation. Untidy. Your handwriting is always untidy. Unusual. It's a very unusual taste. Upset. He wasn't really upset. Vague. His answer was very vague. Vast. This city is vast. versatile. He was a versatile actor. Vicious. A vicious friend. Victorious. All the victorious teams. Vigorous. She is a very vigorous type of person. Western. The western part of India. Wicked. A wicked sense of humor. Wide. His eyes were wide with surprise. Wild. The children were wild with excitement. Willing. He's always willing to help me. Wise. No one is wise at all times. Witty. His comedy scenes are very witty. Worn out. My jeans are almost worn out.